Congratulate.
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 To congratulate you. To congratulate you. To congratulate you.
Week. A number of you have made tremendous strides, but today we're here to congratulate Susan. Congratulate Susan. Congratulate Susan.
Gentlemen, I would congratulate you. I would congratulate you. I would congratulate you on a job well done.
Oh no. The incident.
Oh boy.
I would like to congratulate Jay and the lovely Gloria. I'm very happy for them.
Senator McCain wanted me to congratulate you on a fantastic debate. You really did a great job.
Thanks.
Seriously, you're giving this to us?
It's a big step you're taking. I wanted to congratulate you.
When you told me about Zach, I was so busy freaking out. I never actually congratulated you.
Congratulated me?
I want to congratulate you. We may not have recovered the plutonium yet.
Never.
I congratulate you upon your restraint. But it's a natural thing, two boys having a go at each other beneath the sheets.
I just wanted to congratulate you both and wish you good fortune. The country has been at war too long.
Well, then we'll avoid Finkel Day. We'll meet the new department head, congratulate him, shake his hand, and go.
How's this?
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi. What's up? It just occurred to me that I never formally congratulated you on your pending nuptials. So I hopped on the first bus and hightailed it down here to shake your hand. Put her there, you old so-and-so.
Sensible.
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 On the other hand, is sensible one. Sensible one. Sensible one.
I think I just gotten used to you being sensible, and mature. Even more than me sometimes.
Bates, we have to be sensible. 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 I won't be doing you a favor in the long run if it's too much for you.
That's why I picked you. You seem sensible.
Well, that's a nice way to put it.
You're turning me down. How sensible of you.
Let's get you inside and put on something sensible. Sensible. Sensible.
Why can't you ever do anything sensible?
No one's sensible at her age, nor should they be. That's our role.
I knew he'd have a sensible plan.
Envy.
Envy. Envy.
Envy.
Envy.
Superpower to be envy, envy, envy. Go right ahead. Envy's just another word for ambition.
Are you often consumed by envy?
No, about what?
Are you often consumed by envy? By envy? By envy?
You go running last night?
Yeah.
Help you sleep any?
I envy people in comas.
Good for you, Veronica. I don't envy opposing counsel.
Does my son see how much I struggle every single day?
Well, I don't envy you.
Thank you, Dr. Wheeler.
You've no idea how much I used to envy you guys.
And he looks down at himself. Says, the envy of all mankind.
You have no idea. My gamer tag is spoken in hushed terms of awe and envy.
I'll admit I sometimes envy the time she spends with them.
Don't envy us wives, Captain.
I envy that.
There's plenty of people here would envy that.
I envy your free spirit and I'm attracted to it, but not all of us have that luxury.
Animal.
Animal. Animal. Animal. Animal.
Please don't call me a horse, okay? I'm not an animal. Animal.
Oh, no, baby. That's not what I mean. I mean...
Heavens, no.
Spears.
Yes.
And animal skids. And animal skids. And animal skids. And that sort of thing.
Or like, you love animals or anything?
that if a man earnestly seeks a righteous life, his first act of abstinence is from animal food.
Me, if I'm not expecting you.
Christ, what are you, an animal?
You know, the pig is a filthy animal.
This is where Judah and I grew from boys to men.
How often did you guys come here?
Oh, 3-4 times a night.
You're an animal.
Every year. Every year.
Marty!
Look, just go. She's an animal.
Where'd you find glue?
I made it out of rendered animal fat.
Animal, what is she?
Keep the pressure on, like this.
Ow, ow, ow.
She's been here for 16 years. She's learned how to set traps quickly.
What happened to him?
Must have been an animal. Maybe one of the bears.
Are we gonna carry him back?
No. We're gonna bury him here.
Tell me you saw that.
Probably just an animal.
Animal. Right.
What can I do for you?
What you can do, Ms. Nadler, is spare me the questions about what kind of animal I am and hopefully place me in a job.
Absolutely.
Complain. Complain. Complain.
Complain.
Complain.
I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain. You know, it could be worse. Could be.
How the ladies treating you this year?
Well, I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain.
Really let yourself go.
I think it was Henry Kissinger that said, never complain, never complain, never complain, never explain.
I didn't know when I agreed to do it, but you just sit there for hours and hours and listen to everyone complain.
You know, when someone is trying to kill you, I think that you have every right to complain.
I suppose I shouldn't complain. That role bought me this club.
I shouldn't complain. I imagine you've been through a hell of a time yourselves.
So how's life treated you?
Oh, I can't complain. I haven't travelled.
Bring them in, Nanny. I don't think anyone will mind.
Your papa might, but he isn't here to complain.
Customers started to complain, so I politely asked them to leave.
What you do is complain. And you know why? Because your life, for want of a better term, is crap.
Hey,
How you doing?
Can't complain.
Good? How's your mom? Good.
No, it's fine. She's just doing all right.
Complaint. Complaint. Complaint.
Complaint.
Complaint.
Will be handed to him. No arguments, no complaints, no complaints, no complaints.
This is bullshit.
I said no complaints, no complaints, no complaints, and I mean it. Now.
Well, it's okay. I have no complaints. I have no complaints. I have no complaints.
Sorry, I was just being honest.
What about me? What about me? What about the complaints, 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 the unhappiness, the drinking?
Do you wish to make a formal complaint on behalf of your son?
He's not.
No. No complaint. 6 weeks later, he filed a complaint about his work and withheld payment.
I've got all these complaint letters to read.
Would you drop out of school and get a job in consumer relations?
Excessive force complaints? Total BS, right?
I see you taking well to the upgrades. No complaints here?
No complaints?
If I had any, I should take them to Mr. Carson, my lord, not you.
Excuse me?
Let's cut to the chase, gentlemen. What I have here is a complaint filed by the head of SWAT against the head of 5-0. What the hell's going on?
You filed a complaint against me? You brought that on yourself, man.
It ain't matches Brooks.
I want to file a complaint. This crazy bastard assaulted me.
I've been called worse.
Listen to me. On ammunition, I'm getting complaints about sanitation issues.
Political. Political.
Political. Political.
Political.
Telephoned earlier, and Tom's gone off to a political meeting, so I'm afraid it's just us.
And in marriage, you've never believed that.
You see matrimony as a political tool. Political tool. Political tool.
What you're doing, Owen. You're using this poor girl's death for your own political advantage.
You're the one that fought me when the peach farmers bitched and moaned about me tearing it down.
Memories. Did he write any letters? Messages to military or political leaders regarding the war?
This looks serious. Her parents were political activists.
And there would be too high political costs to murdering them. Gibaki wouldn't have dared.
So for it to be expedited, there had to have been some sort of political influence, right?
We provide assistance for victims of violent crimes, gather support for tough-on-crime political candidates.
Bravo.
And at worst, it speaks of political chicanery to question anyone's intimate relations in this manner, because I have nothing to be ashamed of. No. Yes, I have enough Armenian brethren to go to war, but with them it's political. They answer to a higher power.
He's running for mayor. One hint that he killed his father and his political future is dead in the water.
Wait, I thought you two were supposed to be friends.
Just as my parents were not among the political elite, we grew familiar with tight quarters.
Very political, mate?
You know what they say. Loose lips.
April.
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 April. April.
What's with the photographer?
Life magazine. They're doing a follow-up piece of their April profile. April profile. April profile. Day in the life of Pan Am stewardesses.
Very well. Count the first. On or about the 28th day of April, the accused did knowingly end with malice aforethought. April 13th. April 13th. April 13th. A dark night indeed.
He'll join the club sometime between April 10th and April 15th.
I remember everything. You walked into Joseph's class on Tuesday, April 16th.
I'm not dreaming, okay? April 19, 2004, you agreed to go to homecoming dance with me. I have proof.
April 15th. Today I get to meet my father. His name is Jason.
Yes, Your Honor, by this afternoon.
Yeah, I was in Mexico in April, not a drop.
March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November.
Who's chasing you, man?
Batteries.
Oh, right. Here you go.
On April 13th, Booth visits Grover's Theater.
Borden's journal entry for April 3rd, 1897.
Assignment.
Assignment. Assignment.
Assignment.
Assignment.
Your next assignment. It's assignment. It's assignment.
American history. X. We meet once a day. All right. Your first assignment is to prepare for me a new paper due tomorrow.
Fucking brilliant story.
Thank you.
But the assignment asks for truth.
I didn't write it as an assignment. 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 I wrote it for you.
The dress isn't for me. It's for Charlie. I got an assignment in my home ec class to make an outfit for someone in my family.
My assignment is to show what Japan's really doing to innocent people in China.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did I get a C on this? This is a great paper.
The assignment was to pick either evolution or creationism and provide background evidence as to why you believe that theory.
Will, in time. This is your first assignment. The loon provides, I interpret, you deliver.
Are you ready for your first assignment?
Now?
Seek 3D.
So, will I get another assignment?
1 sec. I need you to keep your eyes open in Rangoon. The agency might need you to run an errand.
The
run by an unknown operator named Joshua. Part of Mia's assignment was to identify him.
Facilitate.
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 Sometimes they hook onto one another, forming immense chains to facilitate moving in the current. Facilitate moving in the current. Facilitate moving in the current.
I need to know.
It's all there. But if you have any questions or requests, we'll be happy to facilitate. Happy to facilitate. Happy to facilitate.
Agreed to meet her in Toronto. An immigration attorney there was going to facilitate her American citizenship.
The timetable, though.
There's a critical step soon. I need to obtain certain materials to facilitate the travel.
United again. We are here to facilitate this important objective.
Sir, I cannot action that order. Colonel, I'm sorry, but we cannot facilitate an evacuation for you or your men.
Well, nothing. I just thought I could help you guys
out. You don't have to think. You were enlisted to facilitate a DEA investigation.
Come on now.
Nothing more.
Museum, but he was big in real estate, so he probably facilitated the introductions on behalf of the actual mastermind, then got an AC unit, dropped on his head for his troubles.
What might compel a decorated officer to risk his career in order to facilitate the demise of a washed-up gangster?
Horses to Rodman's neck.
What?
I know why Burroughs killed Flynn and Hatem. Each murder was meant to facilitate a heist.
Of what?
Guns.
Did you ask her?
I implored Miss Guthrie to facilitate your release. Told her she would not have her guns without yours and the others' help.
You are, Frank. I'm simply here to facilitate, not negotiate.
And yet you continue to have private conversations with Beijing's supposed emissary.
Listen.
Loosen.
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 You have to loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. You're so serious.
Rosie, loosen up the purse strings. Loosen up the purse strings. Loosen up the purse strings, for God's sake.
So this'll loosen them up. This'll loosen them up. This'll loosen them up.
Keep them alive so we can starve them a while so he can loosen their skin and take...
Starling, we know who he is and where...
Sam,
No, thank you,
it's the most delicious thing on the boat.
Using my utility belt.
Ah, I'm full. Just dump it in the ocean.
Maybe that'll loosen his dumb ass up.
You're a sick guy. I like it.
Let's loosen these a little bit. He'll slide a little bit more. Maybe it'll...
It's a good idea.
You've loosened the tooth. I think it's a molar.
Quit bitching, Raleigh.
Okay, we gotta get him out now.
All right, loosen it up a little bit.
Good. Okay, we're just gonna put some morphine in, all right? Give us a minute. You good?
Loosen my arm. If I loosen the roller assembly, slide him out.
Restore.
Restore.
Restore. Restore.
Restore.
We will find a way to restore your speed. To restore your speed. To restore your speed. I promise you that. So I hope one day to restore your trust and faith in me. To restore your trust and faith in me. To restore your trust and faith in me.
The good Pastor Isaiah. I need you to talk to him. He thinks he's trying to restore your marriage. Tell him you don't need that.
Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
I understand how you feel.
Yeah?
You two have come here to try to restore intimacy to your marriage.
Who are you gonna raise that Chinese baby with?
I don't know.
Huh? Who are you gonna restore that Airstream camper with?
You like sunsets, long walks on the beach, and doing whatever it takes to restore your family to the power it once knew. Why?
Because we cannot restore your powers without the heart of a Hexen beast.
Power went out. By the time Angela and I got out here, he was gone. It took us another 10 minutes to get the power restored.
We are watching live footage of an army convoy arriving on the outskirts of the city to restore order.
Oh, look at that! Oh, and proper hierarchy is restored.
Check it out. Restored it myself.
People will expect me to restore her to her rightful place.
Regulate.
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 Regulate. Regulate.
Put him on a diltiazem drip to regulate his heart, to regulate his heart, to regulate his heart.
The cold gun is powered by an engine control unit, a microcomputer that regulates air-to-fuel ratio, regulates air-to-fuel ratio, regulates air-to-fuel ratio so the subcooled fluid in the chambers don't overflow and
explode.
Right.
I can't do that. Then I guess you don't need to regulate pressure as badly as you thought you did.
Yeah, so merge them with commercial banks, turn them into regular banks regulated by the Fed.
I want to introduce you to some of the state committee members who regulate the business.
What? Right now?
What happened? They disabled the microcontroller that regulates the battery's charge.
Certain antidepressants are also useful for the treatment of anxiety and to help regulate sleep patterns.
Thank you. Where's that money now?
It's gone. Federal tax and banking laws that regulate these kind of super PACs make it impossible for us to find out where that money actually came from or went.
You know, we've been doing an excellent job around here even before you showed up, so regulate yourself, okay?
What? We can't regulate our temp without the incubator.
They may have to leave the kid.
I can regulate my body temperature, but only to a point.
An attack by a virus. Billions of viruses whose biological role is to regulate each explosion of life.
Perpetual.
Perpetual. Perpetual. Perpetual. Perpetual.
Shroud that encased the Jovian, permanent, perpetual shadow, perpetual shadow, perpetual shadow.
Your proposing would require a perpetual motion machine, so it's not possible.
Well, if you had two opposite charged poles with a neutral conductor, the conductor
perpetual motion. Perpetual motion. Perpetual motion. Here I was dying inside, and they were talking about perpetual motion.
I don't know. Perpetual motion? Perpetual motion? Perpetual motion? Do you know anything about that?
Perpetual what?
Of noise and color. For the heat, the motion, the perpetual teeming crowds.
Claiming that repeated extensions of copyright protection constitute a perpetual copyright.
In Times Square in 1954, that old lady with perpetual deja vu walks into the matinee screening, right?
Piece of shit with a perpetual need to just eviscerate others so he feels better about himself.
We are a culture hooked on profit, production, and perpetual growth.
Nothing but a feeling of perpetual black terror.
Billy, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him.
Detect.
Detect. Detect.
Detect.
Detect.
Rare squid has blue blood laced with copper. Its enormous eyes detect slight variations in contrast above it.
I think I detect a woman's touch. Detect a woman's touch. Detect a woman's touch.
Their snouts got longer, and their noses keener, to detect even the slightest whiff of dinner.
It's all under control, sir.
Do I detect some frustration or doubt, Mr. Washington?
Are you able to detect a difference between these two?
Bug sweeper. Looks new.
To detect eavesdropping devices?
Paranoia or not.
Guys, I set up a proximity alarm to detect any unauthorized entry to this level. It's going off like crazy.
We might be able to better detect the vortex of a forming storm if we could detect those air updrafts.
There's a dial on the bottom, but none of our equipment can detect any electrical or spectrographic signals.
Very distinctive color.
It is. I rushed the samples to the lab, and they were able to detect trace elements on the shards.
If his protein level is high enough, we might detect it in the blood.
How does any of this help Hal?
We should mimic the Earth's gravity.
If we're out of the atmosphere, we should be able to detect the homing beacon.
Prior.
Prior. Prior. Prior. Prior.
Sorry, Randy. I'm not going either.
Harry!
Prior obligations. Prior obligations. Prior obligations.
Lawyer with you.
That's not it.
As you would eventually discover, Dr. Malone has a prior arrest for illegal distribution of prescription meds.
Malcolm Merlin. She also withdrew from the criminal conspiracy prior to its execution.
5 minutes prior. 5 minutes prior. 5 minutes prior.
He was Maya Lansky's right-hand man. When his prior reputation as an enforcer from 20 years ago was known to never bury a body because he felt it sent a strong...
Given your lack of prior criminal conduct, I am inclined toward probation.
But I'd be happy to close out your account. Let me see. Charges accumulating prior to this evening. Yes, here we are.
Yes. But a similar assertion could have been made prior to the invention of gunpowder, or the wheel, or any other invention conceived since fire.
Right, you don't. We already know. We also know that prior to your marriage, you signed a prenuptial agreement.
Cured, then joined the fight.
Sir.
Officer Gonzalez. Sir. Looked like you did prior service before becoming a merchant mariner.
The base. Gordon Smith. Prior for 2 home robberies. Got out of Halava 6 months ago. I talked to his parole officer, who said he missed today's meeting.
Okay.
Rather notable, hematomas and ecchymosis along the victim's arms suggest that the victim made quite a struggle prior to being shot.
Seriously?
He's got a head for these things. And he's the only one that didn't have any prior knowledge to the planning of the mission.
So these analysts you speak of, they're making predictions prior to Dunbar's report even being released.
Trial.
Trial. Trial. Trial. Trial.
I know, I found myself in an experimental trial. Experimental trial. Experimental trial.
From the OJ trial. Trial.
Yeah, you ready for trial? You've been out quite a bit.
If it fails, there will be no second chances. There will be no trial. You will
Possibly open revolt. If I put him on trial...
We're going to turn you over to the United States Department of Justice. You're going to America to face trial.
I just hope that our trial of fire has helped him along.
I'll see you in an hour, Peter.
All right, Josh. Have a great trial.
Thank you.
You can't get the Sarkisians if we arrest Ari now, but if we don't, well, I'm the one that ends up eating his sins when it goes to trial, right?
I need to know, if we put Finn on trial ourselves, is your commander going to accept the outcome?
Case goes to trial tomorrow. Our lead witness decided to go on a suicidal rampage at the defendant's office on Tuesday, so...
That's just nonsense. It's bullshit. You know, it's exactly what happened in this trial, too, because the media twisted things around so people got all focused on, you know, these cops.
Civilization.
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 Say goodbye to civilization. Civilization. Civilization.
Research.
Oh, please.
Those are Berber nomads, completely cut off from Western civilization. Western civilization. Western civilization.
Trannies? They're staining their lips with plum juice. I cannot sell makeup when civilization is collapsing.
Oh, Cece.
Whilst righting civilization and eliminating war and poverty, and therefore the atomic threat.
Observe. These carriers can use the stone to mow down entire civilizations like wheat in a field.
You know, there are whole civilizations that used to believe they could see their destiny in the stars.
Who, as we all know, is not your average Islamist terrorist bent on bringing down Western civilization.
Very fast, very low, west, and dark, away from any signs of civilization.
There's a difference between an isolated riot and the fall of civilization.
You see, gossip is what holds civilization together. It reinforces shame.
Glad I didn't waste your drive down to the MCC. Enjoy your view of civilization while you can.
Okay. Little girls?
I think Cinderella was a feminist.
The whole idea of marriage is a useless vestige of an archaic civilization.
We're all descendants of barbarians, and the sooner we face it, the sooner we'll have a civilization worth celebrating.
Court.
Court.
Court. Court. Court.
That way to the person standing between you and the Supreme Court. Court.
If you refuse to pay, Miss Nickleby will see you in court. We'll see you in court. We'll see you in court.
Yeah? With your tail between your legs?
See you in court. See you in court. See you in court.
I want to talk to my lawyer. When can I call my lawyer?
You're able to call your lawyer, but first it's our duty to warn you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law.
Okay.
Come on. Let's go home and make love on the squash court.
He just smeared you in court. I was stealing. And she? He wanted to see him arrested, not dead.
That's in the hands of the court.
Presiding.
The food court? That place smells like the inside of Luke's bicycle helmet.
I like the food court. Me too.
Came up with a match with 11 points in common. The guy's prints were on file because he's an officer of the court.
None of this is admissible in court.
But this is.
An amazing lawyer. My dream for him is that one day he'll be on the Supreme Court.
Hey, be careful, you're gonna hurt somebody, like you.
Don't get too comfortable. I reserved this a tennis court.
Yay.
Offense.
Offense.
Offense. Offense. Offense.
Your robust infrastructure. No offense, but any lead hack could see that your tech was junk, so...
I'd say we're brothers, so don't take offense. Don't take offense. Don't take offense. Getting married puts the pack on your back.
You okay?
Yeah, just give me more. You gotta call offense on that shit, Dare. Not on game point, Danny.
You'll have to get used to the roots. It won't happen again, I promise.
No offense, but I regret that your profession needs to exist.
10 a.m., Guy walks into the border station. Man, will you please wear a suit? No offense, but you look like a slutty elf.
On L Street. That's my cousin. Connected. Not too bright. Yeah, I know. I mean, no offense.
That way only my husband will find me pretty.
No offense, but that's the weirdest tradition I've ever heard of. I didn't mean no offense, but I've been locked up a long while and...
What?
I'm sorry, no offense. You're a nice guy. I'm just not into you that way.
I didn't mean to give offense, my lady. Forgive me.
Board in the bathroom, which is a federal offense, so we arrested her as soon as she landed.
Great.
Why is no offense always followed by something entirely offensive?
Bold.
Bold.
Bold. Bold.
Bold. Sorry.
I highly recommend the coconut balls.
Oh, but my waistline.
Mrs. Yoon, if I may be so bold, you look sveltely ravishing.
So I took the bold step of inviting her over for brunch.
Bold?
Sometimes bravery isn't enough. Sometimes the world requires us to be bold. To be bold. To be bold.
Whatever the personal cost.
You were too bold. You should have checked with me before abducting that scientist.
We were just following the trail for Omega.
That window.
Turn around!
This is bold, even for Roz.
I'll be all right, Fancy. Besides, fortune favors the bold.
Who said that one?
Rather insipid, dull, and uninspiring.
That is an extremely bold statement, young Mr. Ruskin.
Thank you very much.
For the record, you took quite a bold initiative there, going behind my back. It reminded me of myself.
Irons, and you could double your port capacity on the Adriatic.
A bold stroke, but why don't I conquer it myself?
Your collar's buttoned down, mine's more current widespread, and I chose a bold pocket square to bring out the stripe in the shirt, all of which you wouldn't have thought of because, well, I've already said.
Scared of flying, I just hate everything about it. Except for the food. I don't understand how they get such bold flavors out of that tiny kitchen.
Bold choice.
I knew where we stood before. We were best friends, and...
Deliberate.
Deliberate. Deliberate. Deliberate.
Deliberate.
Everything this girl does is deliberate. Is deliberate. Is deliberate.
Put it this way.
See, that's wrong. I mean, the worst thing you can do is match your questioner's intensity. Instead, give a firm, deliberate answer. Deliberate answer. Deliberate answer.
Unwanted or dysfunctional behavior.
The unwanted behavior in Simon's case is forgetting.
You mean he's doing it deliberately?
It was evenly split. No, half the jurors switched their votes when they couldn't get a troubled juror to deliberate. So...
That's enough. The panel is ready to deliberate and offer its decision.
Excuse me?
They just went out. Are you kidding me? They deliberated for 10 minutes.
Well, we need a response. They're going to ask... See, look.
Perverted body. We grant the accused 1 day to confess and plead mitigation before we deliberate any further.
I'm gonna go back to the house and spread out my life like a map. Deliberate on the topography, chart my path, maybe call a girl who calls me on my shit.
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Enterprise.
Enterprise.
All that history never forgets. The name Enterprise. Enterprise. Enterprise.
Anyway, I'm very excited about our new Enterprise. Enterprise. Enterprise.
Oh, I'm fired.
Yep.
Oh, very amusing. Let me remind you who's running this little enterprise, madam. Moi!
Right. Oh. What about enterprise computers?
No.
I felt cursed. That the whole enterprise was cursed.
Enterprise, this is 6 Ter 12. No, check that. 6 Ter 14, requesting an inbound bearing. Enterprise! Enterprise!
What, you my shrink now, eh?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you put your butt on the boot end of a criminal enterprise, and I'm trying to understand why.
I just feel like since we're a profitable enterprise now, we should have our own silver.
Well, yeah.
Don't let the hairy legs fool you. This is a capitalist enterprise.
Hey, who wants to hit the diner? Enterprise upgraded me to a Sebring.
My family also owns Lang Enterprises.
Little Frog Enterprises. I was hired by Little Frog Enterprises.
Little Frog Enterprises? The children's media company?
Khan didn't realize that the Enterprise was below him.
Right. So if we are the Enterprise, that means Gemini is?
He's above us.
Exactly. Inject.
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 We have just enough for one dose. Make sure you inject all of it into the toad. We need to inject the mixture into his spine.
Autopsy report shows your stepfather had it in his system. Why would Larry inject himself with a paralytic drug?
Well, they expect him to test the quality of the heroin by shooting up. Right. So he pretends to inject himself. But what he's really doing is sticking the needle in a little rubber ball he's got tucked into it.
Consciousness.
Absolutely not.
We inject the infected virus into my system, and then I go back and let him upload me.
Jesus. He's gonna inject himself.
Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna let the government inject a tracking device into my body. Fine, dumbass. Hit him again.
You are looking for. Us ones use their long tongues to inject chewed up valerian root to sedate their victims as they attack.
My brother. Did he give you the Mirakuru?
Did he inject you with it?
No. He saved me with it. Inject a hydrogen particle now.
It's not the thorns you have to worry about, it's the poison they inject you with.
And then we inject your own platelets into the area, which increases healing.
Setting. Setting. Setting.
Setting.
Setting.
On his setting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I care about this kid, and I think he could use a little more connection in his life. I didn't tell him anything. It's your decision. I'm just setting it up.
So who are you, really?
I'm not sure I know what you mean by that.
There's been some questionable behavior over the last couple of days. Like you setting my grandmother on fire.
Are there any of your friends who do drugs who might be interested in selling?
Well, like setting someone up?
Golden also says that the sheriff's department will be setting up electronic monitoring at the house if I am released.
Get him off the interview! Cut it! Shut down the computer! They're setting up his words!
So you're setting me up on a blind date with a potential murderer?
Yeah, why? It's not your type?
Doug.
Okay. All right, listen. I've been working on setting up a small business loan for you so we can have a front to launder money through.
How we get rid of those boxes? Oh, you must mean the boxes I spent all yesterday afternoon setting up.
And every time we look to see where it's coming from, he starts seizing.
You think we're setting this off?
I think something is.
What? The whole West Coast? I thought you were going after an in-house position.
No. I'm setting up new offices from Seattle to L.A. I told you that.
To discuss it.
Oh, please. When has that stopped you before?
Well, clearly it's time I start setting some boundaries around here.
Your friend Lila's setting a trap for him. Lawton took the bait.
Great.